the bad people, but I'm talking about. I'm talking about. I mean, I'd like to throw a few hatchets at BP, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody's playing these roles, and I wish I could come up to your big happening in July, James. But like you, you know, I'm having to stay a little bit closer to home, but I'll probably see you over at the Star Family reunion, and but you know, you need to come over here and hang out with us. We'll take you out to our special spot, and
that sounds good. I would love to do that. As long as they can handle my spiritually inappropriate humor.
Oh, we get like that out there too.
Good. Well, I kind of shake people up a little bit. You know, when you get into joy,
have a sense of humor.
Oh yeah, you know in the practices we do in Kunlun and some of these ancient Tibetan rites that we've been practicing, you know, one of the things they teach is that when you do these practices, you really need to smile because that opens your crown up to the plane of bliss, and it primes the pump. And so people have no idea how much humor plays a role in enlightenment, in the awakening healing process. And you know, once they prime that pump and that energy starts flowing, all their energy channels open up. It's just amazing, you know, what happens. But, you know, it has to be initiated, you know, and you have to create some kind of an opening for that energy to flow.
Well, we can take ourselves way too serious. And the other night, the group said, "Man, I've never seen you act so silly." And I'm just like a child. I just have this childlike joy, feeling that, oh, you know, we've all worked a long time, and right now, you know, there's really, it's not about taking a whole bunch more classes. It's about really doing the work inside and allowing. And last night I watched the old movie Lost Horizon. Do you remember that movie?
Which one?
Lost Horizon. It came out years and years ago, and it was a musical, and it was like back in like 72 or something like that.
Yeah,
but
I must have missed
but it's a wonderful story about these people that they're on this plane and they end up going and crashing and finding Shangri-La, and their whole experience about, all the songs are written about just, you know, enjoying where you're at and stop thinking about what you don't have and think about what you do have. And then most of them decide to stay in Shangri-La, but this movie had such an impact on me years and years ago, and I've been watching it and just feeling that, you know, it kind of represented leaving that other world behind. And there were all these children, and there are many children that are waiting for us. They will be inhabiting the second earth with us. And just like 3 weeks ago, I was on the ship, and my cousin was getting ready to give some kind of a speech, and there were like thousands of people on this ship. So things are really moving ahead, and people are feeling so, like, they almost feel like they're drugged, like they weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, or they want to sleep. I call that the poppy seed effect. And so just surrender and be joyful about that. One thing I wanted to bring up is one of my colleagues here. She has written this prayer, and this suggested that we do a special meditation at 9 o'clock, wherever we are, like 9 o'clock your time, 9 o'clock my time, and we'd be praying for the Gulf and for the planet, that we can move through this transition. And if everybody just did did that every single night at 9 p.m. worldwide, that can support, what this transformational process. So.
Yeah, have you heard this this thing? And I don't want to mention any names, but I'm hearing it from several places, and it's really taken root for some reason. I don't know why, but there's some channels and some other people out there, and they're trying to say that the masters, the ascended masters, have been hijacked, and the reptilians have taken over, and all the higher realms have been hijacked, and they're saying don't pray for these events because they're just taking that energy and using it. And and I'm hearing this from all these people, and I'm going, and some of them are even naming people like Babaji, and some of the other ones. And, whereas I agree that religion has hijacked these beings, and has twisted their teachings and things like that, the beings themselves are extremely, blissful, joyful, service-oriented. There's nothing that's been hijacked with these beings.
They cannot be hijacked.
Yeah.
That absolutely. I do not believe for the moment that is happening. But that's who I don't know who's. I mean, people get so much information, but they have to be very careful when they get their transmissions, because even like when a person douses, if they don't clear their energy, they can douse and say, hey, should I go to the casino? Well, sure. Well, does that mean I'm going to come home with money? No. You can go to the casino and lose your shirt. And people just really, they have to be very careful about that. One thing I heard the other night, I'll share too, is, and maybe you've heard this one, but they said that when they were drilling and they pierced the core of the earth, that, number one, they released gases. Then what these folks said is they were trying to cover up the fact that they had found a lost civilization when they drilled in there, like a Mayan, some Mayan land. Have you heard about that?
Well, I mean, if you're bringing up toxic fumes and gases and radioactive material, I would say, well, I don't think so,
Yeah, I mean, those are two scenarios, but that's what somebody said the other night, is that they this whole thing was to cover up something that they found. But I don't know. That one's kind of hard for me to believe. But
well, I heard another guy saying that really wasn't oil. That's the dispersants that they've been spraying to cover up something else. And it went on and on and on. And I just said, well, I've seen the flyovers, I've seen the footage, and I've seen the oily birds and James Fox did a wonderful thing on that, where he just went right to ground zero and brought us the real information on that. So I trust his integrity as well as some other sources. So I'm hearing all of these and some of that stuff is, as you said, people have not done clearings before they tapped in to receive information. They've been misled. There are faker spirits out there that will tell you they're this master or that master, and people are tapping into the astral level and getting all kinds of weird information from the lower levels. So, it's common sense is God sense, the way I see it. If it's an oily duck, there's probably there's a lot of oil there when you see the dead porpoises and the dolphins and everything else there, the turtles. And, it's very, very sad, seeing that situation. But on a higher level, it's a very powerful message being delivered.
I feel that that's one reason why they said everything was being sped up, because if they don't move us to the other dimension before, like, the earthquakes, I mean not the earthquakes, but the hurricanes start throwing that oil around, I mean, it could happen tomorrow, James.
Oh, yeah.
It really, between just the next few months, and so that's why I feel the most powerful thing that we can all do is is really center ourselves with